together with Earle Sports Bets. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we say making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here as always by my brother Tim, and today is going to be an interesting day because I've already had to bet two things for today because we have not one but two minus 300 fades today. So today is a plug your nose and bet it type of day, which is going to be scary, but sometimes that's just the way things are. But we have baseball, and we do have a CFL game tonight, as well. But before we get into today's games, before we get into today's slate, we'll take a look back at what happened yesterday. One went right, one went wrong in the world of sports betting. And overall, positive day. It was a nice day yesterday. As we had, I start off the day with 2 wins, which is always nice to do. First 5 under 3.5 with the Tampa Bay Rays and the Seattle Mariners, as well as the Pirates' first 5. Could have taken them full game as well. They got the job done, both first 5 in full game there. Lost with the Cardinals plus 110, but then bounced back. Never in doubt winner with the Kansas City Royals run line minus 106. They score 5 in the bottom of the 8th inning and win the game 5-1. So that was nice there. Baltimore Orioles minus 1.5 winner, but the over 9 loss. So we split out on that game. The New York Mets plus 115 as they complete the 2-game sweep over the New York Yankees. The Yankees now travel to Toronto today, where that'll be an interesting matchup for that game. And then the White Sox, they lose 4-0, and then ending off the night with a nice winner there. With the free pick video, the Minnesota Twins minus 120. They take care of business. They win 8-3. So overall 6-3 yesterday. I did not write down the unit count. Plus 3.2 units. So a nice profitable day yesterday. Hoping to continue that in today. Small slate, but an opportunity for big money with some lines.
There you go. 4-2-1 yesterday on the site. 2 losers were the Cardinals game 1 and the Texas Rangers that lost in extra innings. The push was the under in the Seattle game because the Tampa Bay Rays scored a meaningless run in the bottom half of the 9th to make it 5-2 and push our total. Other than that, the Royals, the Orioles, the Mets, and the Cardinals in game number 2 of the doubleheader all came through nicely. 3 out of the 4 of those were plus money. So overall, really a good day. Any day in the green is a good day. So we're not going to sugarcoat that, but any day in the green is a good day. Happy to keep on try to roll, and got a small slate in the MLB today, but I know you have a CFL game. There's 4 WNBA games, which the smallest favorite on today's WNBA card, Nick, is the Seattle Storm at minus 9.
Nice.
Gross. I have one play in the WNBA, and it was part of my free pick video last night.
There you go. Head over to the chat, and then we'll get into today's games.
Got Timothy Hake saying, good morning, all. Good morning to Timothy. All right, Nick, let's jump into the games.
Yeah. We'll start with the game that we ended with last show. The Minnesota Twins and the Arizona Diamondbacks. This game pick'em, total of 9 in this game. Line opened up at the Diamondbacks as minus 120 favorites, and it's dropped all the way down to a minus 107. So we've had a nice move here towards the Minnesota Twins. And the line opening up at a 9, it's now down to an 8.5. So we do have a move towards the under in this game as well. 95% of the tickets, 95% of the cash is on the over. The line dropping definitely piques my interest in the under in this game. And 28% of the tickets and 90% of the cash is on the Twins with the line moving heavily towards Minnesota here in this game. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup where we have Jordan Montgomery taking on David Festa. I don't have anything on David Festa. If you want to go ahead and look up more information on him, I'm kind of interested in the Twins, so I kind of want to see what his numbers look like because Jordan Montgomery has just been downright awful. 7.54 ERA, 1.85 WHIP the last 30 days. He has pitched plenty, so he has plenty of a sample size. 5 starts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 starts in the last 30 days, and he's done nothing but get lit up and smoked against everybody other than the White Sox. 7.94 strikeouts per 9, which is 18%. 3.97 walks per 9, a 373 BABIP, a 501 FIP, and a 4.74 Sierra. Bullpen edge goes towards the Twins as well as the hitting edge. The Twins are smashing left-handed pitching, and they have a very vulnerable lefty on the mound. 145 WRC plus, which is 3rd in baseball, compared to 114, which is 8th for the Diamondbacks against righties. I would like to know a little bit more about David Festa, but I'm very interested in starting my day off with the Minnesota Twins here. What is there to know about the starting pitcher here for the Twins?
David Festa will be making his major league debut. He was drafted in the 13th round of the 2021 draft out of the University of Seton Hall, out of the Big East. That's kind of interesting. He was, as he's getting called up now, the number 5 prospect for the Twins. And the Twins' top pitching prospect. So he is got a little bit of hype behind him, which is good to see for if you're interested in that. Let's see exactly. I'm pulling up more of his stuff now. He's got. It looks like he has a pretty good fastball, a slider, curveball, good changeup, and then curveball is kind of that he's got it, but it's nothing crazy. We'll see how he does. Some stats from AAA this year. 3-2 record, 3.77 ERA in his 14 starts, 59 and a third innings pitched, 87 strikeouts to 24 walks. That's pretty solid. And a batting average against him of 241, a whip of 1.29. So definitely he's got some decent stats from the minors, so not anybody you're going to write off. But we'll see how the top pitching prospect for the Minnesota Twins does today. As for me in this game, I'm not going to touch it. I want to see what this guy has before I go and bet him. And it's not like he's a big up and coming pitcher that everybody's got their eye on, like a Paul Sneags or something like that. I want to see what he's got before I go and attack him.
I'm going to bet him today. And this is more of a fade of Jordan Montgomery. Because and one thing that kind of confused me is that with the market moving down, suggests that Montgomery could potentially pitch well today, but it's actually suggesting more because of the way the line's moving for the Twins. The markets think that Festa comes in and has a good game here. So that's kind of another spot I'm going to kind of look at here. -104 on FanDuel. I'm going to take the Minnesota Twins here.
Good luck to you. I'm not going to stop you. Nicholas Handy's here. Hey, Nicholas, how are you doing? Morning, all. What's up, Bailey? Good morning, brothers in chat. Wishing y'all luck on your tickets today. Let's cash. Let's do it. Went 14-16 yesterday. I feel a sweep brewing someday soon. Hey, we always hope for a sweep. We always do. With y'all on the Elks, team total over 22.5 at -110. DK had some line-ins, -125.
Yeah, I got the Elks team total over 22.5, -110 on FanDuel.
There you go. Took the Elks point spread.
Yeah, I do lean that way as well.
There you go. I will say there is a bunch of gross games today, but we got a potential sweep today, a potential 4-game sweep, I believe, today. Yes,
yeah,
4-game sweep.
Yeah, Really? It's a 4-game sweep between Chicago and San Fran?
Yep.
It's not just then that Tim. Then that's not a sweep. That's a mop. But we have the San Francisco Giants and the Chicago Cubs. And if there is somebody who would slow the bleeding down, it would be Shota Umagana, right? You would think. Line opened up at a -103. It's up to a -108 for the Cubs. Line opening up at a 7.5 at even money. It's now 7.5 at -115. So suggesting that Jordan Hicks may be a little bit vulnerable here, with the line moving towards the over, 98% of the tickets and 98% of the cash on the over, the line moving in that direction. And then 62% of the tickets, 93% of the cash moving in on the coming in on the Giants, and the line moving towards the Cubs, which is interesting. Shota Umagana regression season has hit. 7.46 ERA, 1.50 whip the last 30 days. Granted, he's had 2 blow-up starts, so there's that. 8.17 strikeouts per 9, which is 20%. 1.07 walks per 9, a 350 BABIP, a 5.41 FIP, and a 4.21 SIERA. On the flip side, Jordan Hicks, 5.56 ERA, 1.76 WHIP, 8.34 strikeouts per 9, which is 20%. 4.76 walks per 9, a 358 BABIP, a 5.45 FIP, and a 4.64 SIERA. Bullpen edge goes towards San Fran, as well as the hitting edge, 134 WRC, 39 WRC plus, which is 4th in baseball against lefties, compared to 99 WRC plus, which is 16th for the Cubbies here. I mean, I wanted to find a way to back the Cubs in this game. The Giants hit lefties really hard, so this probably isn't the best spot for a bounce-back spot for Shota after getting lit up for, 10 runs in his last start against the Mets. This is a stay-off spot for me. There's better spots on the card, like the 2 gross games we get to talk about next. But yeah, no play for me here for this one.
I mean, I'm gonna go towards the Giants here. Going for the 4-game sweep. Yes, I know I'm a big Umagana guy because he's been making me money, but he's had two rough starts. But it was against a red hot Mets team and then Milwaukee. So I'm not gonna sell on him that quickly to the point that I'm trying to fade him. But this is more of me backing a Giants team that's actually looked halfway decent as of late. Well, as I say that, I look at their thing, and before playing the Cubs, they've lost 5 straight. I don't know. This Giants team, I think, could turn stuff around. The Cubs are just really struggling right now. I look towards the Giants here to continue to finish off a 4-game sweep. Is it something I need to get involved with? No.
Fair enough.
What's up, fellas? What's up, wine time? Man, the Cubs are a really bad ball club. They're just injured right now.
I'm so glad I have Cubs World Series futures. It's the best.
Since Sunday, I've faded the Cubs, and I'm not stopping today. I don't blame you. I don't at all. All right, Nick. I know where you're going in this one. I'll say I like my money, and the White Sox are not getting it. So go ahead, Nick.
But maybe I can talk you into a little bit of White Sox here today. Maybe.
No, you cannot.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Give me a couple minutes here at least. Let's get into the line history in this spot, where we have the Atlanta Braves and the Chicago White Sox. Shop around because I'm seeing -290 on BetOnline, but everywhere else is in the -310s, -320s, and including where I ended up betting this game where it was a -350. So this line opened up at a 241. It's up to a 290 now for Atlanta. Line opened up at an 8 at even money. It's not moved the total there. 99% of the tickets, 98% of the cash is on the over in this game, with the line not moving. 92% of the tickets, 91% of the cash is on the Braves, with the line moving in their direction there. And this one kind of caught my attention. I knew the Braves were going to be -300 fades this year, but not on the road. And that was the first thing that caught my attention. This is the first road -300 fade of the year. Because most of them, they're home teams that when you're -300. Very rare you're -300 on the road. It is Chad Kuhl, I believe, making his debut for the White Sox today. It's either him or Drew Thorpe. I'm not exactly sure who Both are righties, which the Atlanta Braves struggle against. Chris Sale has kind of struggled as of late, but there's projected positive regression coming his way. 5.09 ERA, 1.17 whip, 11.35 strikeouts per nine, which is 31%. 2.74 walks per nine, a 327 BABIP, a 2.81 FIP, and a 2.9 Sierra. The White Sox bullpen has actually been better than the Braves bullpen as of late when you look at FIP and Sierra as well, which kind of caught my attention. And the way that the White Sox are hitting lefties has been better than the Braves. 101 WRC plus, which is 19th in baseball. That's still one above average. 100 is average for WRC plus. And the Braves against righties are non-existent. 83 WRC plus, which is 22nd in baseball. I am on the White Sox in the first 5 innings at plus 235. I'm on the White Sox plus 280 full game. Fanatics had a 20% boost, so I was able to get that up to plus 336. So I'm on the White Sox first 5 in full game. And one more detail that I think can draw Tim's attention a little bit more here. What did the Atlanta Braves do yesterday?
They played a doubleheader.
They played a doubleheader. And you know what the Braves are doing after this game? They're heading home to play Pittsburgh. This is a one-off baseball game. This was a game that was postponed earlier in the year to this date. So the Braves, this is a terrible spot for the Braves. They go from playing a doubleheader, have to go to Chicago for one game, then head home to play Pittsburgh. This is a terrible, and they're minus 300 on the road. This is the minus 300 fade I actually like out of the two. I hate the next minus 300 fade, but I had to do it because minus 300 fades have to be bet. And I know we're different on the site. It's just something I do, so I understand. But I'm on the White Sox first 5 at plus 235 and the full game at plus 280.
No, you're not. They're not getting my money again. I understand it's a really bad spot, but there's been plenty of awful spots for teams against White Sox, and it has not mattered. I wish you the best of luck. I know you do the minus 300 fades. I know you fade the Dodgers every day. I can't do it. So I wish you all the best of luck. Obviously, I hope the White Sox win today. I hate the Braves, but there's no chance that the White Sox are getting any of my money. So yeah, you can have fun with them. No, thank you for me.
Fair enough. Back to the chat.
Yeah, no, sorry, I was putting up one thing. What's good, Twins? It's all about the Mets, baby. Yes, Mets, love it. Tim, who's injured on the Cubs? I could have sworn they were missing a couple of rotation pieces. Injuries. Brown, Azalea. Oh wow, that's actually a bunch of just relief pitchers. Never mind. Well, their pitching's been beat up, but I misread that one. My bad. It's a White Sox. They just can't hit. Good luck.
It is a White Sox spot.
Braves, White Sox under. I could see an under in this game. I could see an under. Yankees were one of my square picks yesterday that ended in a disaster. That game was beautiful. It was just beautiful. Cubs morale is injured. That too. I want to use my Fanatics boost on the Tigers, but I feel like everyone and their mom's on the Tigers today.
Tigers get the Angels. That'll be an interesting matchup breakdown. Jack Flaherty versus Davis Daniel. That pitching matchup.
Hit the like button. Appreciate it. Stop Gio. Parlay 2, Braves and the Phillies. So complete fade of Nick. 90% of money on Atlanta. The right play is probably Chicago, but I'm just not. They're not getting any of my money. Plus 3.5 and minus 140. Next time we play the Yankees. Next time we play, Yankees will win. Remember that. They probably will. I mean, the Yankees are the better team. They should have won these 2 games, but we saw what happened. Let's keep rolling, Nick.
Yeah, I want to see one quick thing. One last thing I'll put up, or I'll ask about this game, and or that way. Never mind. Okay, I just looked it up on the thing, and they were not offering plus 2.5 on the site. I was going to say maybe White Sox plus 2.5 because I saw on BetMGM it's minus 110, which actually does pique my interest. But let's get into this one here. The Philadelphia Phillies and the Miami Marlins. I typed this in this morning when it was minus 290. It opened up at a 260. It's actually up to a 285. And everywhere else it's minus 300. And actually, after I already made the bets, things are dropping. These lines are dropping, aren't they? No. Okay, they're all still minus 300. All the books I use, other than DraftKings, is a minus 298. Okay. So this is still minus 300 fade territory. Let's get into it here. Philadelphia Phillies and the Miami Marlins. 94% of tickets, 89% of the cash is on the Phillies in this one. 99% of tickets, 99% of cash on the over in this spot. Let's get into this one here between Zach Wheeler and Trevor Rogers. Trevor Rogers has been okay. 3.33 ERA, 1.03 WHIP. Maybe trying to pitch himself out of Miami. 5.92 ERA, 17%, 2.59 walks per nine, a 224 BABIP, a 4.55 FIP, and a 4.363 Sierra. On the flip side, Zach Wheeler, 3.16 ERA, 0.93 WHIP, 8.9 strikeouts per nine, which is 26%, 2.3 walks per nine, a 213 BABIP, a 4.21 FIP, and a 3.53 Sierra. Bullpen edge goes towards the Phillies, as well as a hitting edge, 122 WRC plus, which is 7th, compared to 71, which is 29th. And I know we fade the Marlins every single game this season. And I know you're going to put that. We've already put that up on the site just because it's something you're continuing with. But for me, the minus 300 fade comes before that. And when I had the Marlins fade in my head, I was anticipating them, betting against them when they're pick'ems and stuff like that, because they were a playoff team last year and everyone remembered that. And I knew they weren't going to be a playoff team this year. There's no value in fading the Marlins today. At minus 300 or minus, what was it? Minus one. The run line's dropping. I'm seeing 130s now for the run line. Or 2.5. For me, it's a minus 300 fade. It's the only time I'm going to back the Marlins this year. It's the only time is when the other team is minus 300. And that's exactly what we have here. I'm on the Marlins, first 5 plus 240, full game plus 260. I hate batting the Marlins. This is a plug your nose type of day and bet it. So back-to-back minus 300 fades for me here today. Marlins, first 5 plus 240, full game plus 260. I'd be fine with just the first 5, and then they lose the full game, though.
Phillies. And I know you do your minus whatever fade. Well, the site's done fade the Marlins every single day. And
that's why I'm okay with that. It's fine.
I'm not going to change it up today. This is going to be the 80th game in a row that we faded the Marlins. So plus 113 for the minus 2.5. And this is the second time that I've had to do a minus 2.5 on the site to fade the Marlins. The other time it cashed. So, and I think it was with the Dodgers that it cashed. So,
yep.
I know it's gross, but with the current best team in baseball, I'm all right with laying the 2.5 at plus 113. So Phillies in this one, it has to be 2.5 though. It can't be 1.5 because it's too expensive.
Yeah,
it's not an easy minus 1.5. Nothing's ever easy. Don't say that. Let's head to this game, Nick, which I'm hearing it could be a cash cow.
Let's get into it. We'll find out. We have the Baltimore Orioles taking on the Texas Rangers. This line opened up at a 198. It's up to a 205. The line moved towards the Orioles. Line opened up at an 8. It's down to a 7.5, though. It's not the Orioles part of it. It's the total that's taking this out of cash.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Because it has to be 8 or higher. Because we want the variance for the run line. Doesn't mean the Orioles are a bad play. It just means they're not cash cow. 91% of the tickets and 94% of cash is on the Orioles, the line moving towards them. 99% of the tickets and 99% of the cash is on the over, the line moving down. If this goes back up to an 8, though, this is a cash cow play.
Mm-hmm.
This stays at a 7.5. It is not. Taking a look at the pitching matchup here, where we have Corbin Burnes and John Gray. John Gray is 6.28 ERA, 1.40 whip, 7.53 strikeouts per nine, which is 19%, 1.26 walks per nine, a 3.26 BABIP, a 4.62 FIP, and a 4.04 SIERA. On the flip side, Corbin Burnes has been phenomenal. 1.85 ERA, 0.91 whip, 7.41 strikeouts per nine, which is 21%, 1.85 walks per nine, a 2.13 BABIP, a 3.66 FIP, and a 3.88 SIERA. Bullpen edge goes towards the Orioles as well as the hitting edge. Talk about the ultimate dynamic here, Tim. The Baltimore Orioles against right-handed pitching, number one in baseball the last 30 days, 146 WRC plus. The Texas Rangers, dead last, 62 WRC plus against righties. They're not hitting righties, and they're getting one of the best righties in baseball here in this game. I would only look Orioles in this game personally. Whether or not I get involved with it is another story. But the only way they're just a little too public for me. I was hoping this total would be an 8, and I'll be like, yeah, let's hop on the Orioles. It's a cash cow play. But if this sticks at 7.5, it's not. So it's a pass for me at the moment. It's Baltimore or nothing now.
Good enough for me. We'll be taking the Orioles. On the run line at plus 103 on the site. I know it's the Corbin Burnes tax that's going to keep making them expensive, but Corbin Burnes has been really good this year. Almost 100 innings pitched, 99 and 2/3, 26 earned runs on 94 strikeouts, a 2.35 ERA. He's been great. The Orioles have won 6 out of his last 7 starts. They did lose his last start when he went 7 innings against the Houston Astros. I expect a bounce back because he allowed 4 earned runs in that game. And yes, that's a bad game for Corbin Burnes. I expect a bounce back from him, and obviously we're not big fans of the Texas Rangers. So let's get Baltimore in this one on the run line at home.
Also, there's one thing I want to look up in this game real quick. I want to see if this is something as well. And when you go over the chat, I'm gonna look to see if this is something an angle as well. If you're looking to back the Orioles, so I'm gonna quickly look at something and go from there.
So many heavy favorites today. What could possibly go wrong with people parlaying? I know, right?
Yeah.
Cash cow. I missed it. Nope, it's not. It's not a cat. There's no cash cows yet today. I don't think there is any.
Total 7.5.
Yeah, if it was an 8, then it would be a cash cow. Let's cash. Let's do it. These bounce back games have not been doing too well. I thought Gill and Wu were going to bounce back. Wu got injured. Wu got injured, and Gill was bound for negative regression. There was no bounce back spot for Gill. So, no, I did not believe in a bounce back spot for Gill. Speaking about the Yankees, though, Nick, this is actually a little bit of an interesting game.
Yeah, and by the way, one other angle, if you want to use this as well, the last time these two teams played each other, the Texas Rangers won 7-1, which eliminated the Baltimore Orioles from the playoffs in a clean sweep. So The last time these two teams played was in the ALDS, and the Rangers swept them. So there's that. Let's get into the next matchup here. This one kind of caught my attention. Line opened up at a 130. It's up to a 132. So the line moved towards the Yankees in this one. Line opened up at an 8.5 at plus 105. It's now an 8.5 at minus 112. So we do have a move towards the over in this game as well. 97% of the tickets and 97% of the cash is on the over in this one. 77% of tickets and 93% of the cash is on the Yankees in this game, with the line moving slightly towards the Yankees in this spot. Carlos Rodon and Jose Barrios. Rodon, 5.86 ERA, 1.27 whip, 8.78 strikeouts per nine, which is 23%. 1.95 walks per nine, a 3.08 BABIP, a 4.31 FIP, and a 3.75 SIERA. On the flip side, Jose Barrios, 4.55 ERA, 1.21 whip, 4.55 strikeouts per nine, which is 12%. 1.52 walks per 9, and 258 BABIP, a 602 FIP, and a 4.99 Sierra. Bullpen edge goes towards the Yankees, as well as the hitting edge, 112 WRC plus, which is 11th versus right-handed pitching, compared to the Toronto Blue Jays, who are dead last versus lefties. They are not hitting lefties worth a lick. 56 WRC plus. That is horrific. And I look for Rodon to have a good game here in this spot. And I look for Barrios to struggle a little bit. And I get it. They're coming off a series against the Mets. They had that late rain delay, but this is a 7:00 game, so I'm not overly worried about that. They were able to rest off a little bit there. Not the biggest concern in the world for me. I'm interested in the New York Yankees here. And at minus 132, I mean, you could lay the money line. I think I see enough of an edge to move on them on like a -1 line. Unless I can get the best I can get is minus 135 on BetMGM, minus 135 on 365, minus 135 on DraftKings. I'm kind of tempted to take the -1 line with them here, or just lay the $1.35 on BetMGM. I think I'm just going to lay the $1.35 here. I'm going to be on the New York Yankees in this spot. I'm very low on the Toronto Blue Jays. Do I wish the markets moved a little bit more towards the Yankees in this spot? A little bit. But at the same time, I think this is a great situational spot, or not situational spot, but a great matchup for the Yankees to bounce back. So I am going to be on the Yankees at minus 135 here.
I'm going to stay off this game. And the big reason why is there's two different trends that are both on the Yankees side. That one of them makes me want to bet them. The other one makes me want to bet against them. What did we just see last from the Yankees? They got absolutely blown out. What else did we see? That game ended at midnight last night. And then they had to travel up to Toronto. No, it's not a far trip. But they probably are getting back to their hotels after the game at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. I think but I'm never betting the Blue Jays here. I'm never betting the Blue Jays. Just not a team that I'm going to go after. I was this close to betting the Yankees with you, but it's just two opposite spots, and hey, one of them's going to lose. One of those spots, whether a team coming off of a blowout or a long rain delay and having in a late night. One of those is going to snap. I don't know which one, so I'm going to personally stay away from this game. I don't like it.
Yeah, and also one thing I'm kind of curious about with when it went into the rain delay last night. Do you think maybe they sent Rodon up to Toronto early, saying,
probably
head up there now, get some rest. This game is going to be very late, and we need you on the mound tomorrow?
They could have. He could have been already in Toronto before the Mets game started, before the game against the Mets started. So,
especially if there was rain in the forecast and a rain delay was something that they could have seen happening. Yeah,
but so. I personally don't know, and that's just one player. That's just one player on the Yankees. Of course. And until the rest of the lineup starts hitting, I'm sorry, they scored 9 runs against the Mets in 2 games. And 9 out of the 9 RBIs were all by Soto or Judge.
Yeah.
Where's the rest
and then the Mets learned last night how to beat the Yankees. You
don't
walk
pitch to Soto,
you walk
pitch
Soto.
to Judge.
Yeah. You don't pitch to them. Stop pitching to them. That's the way you beat the Yankees. Let some of these other wahoos try to beat you. JD Davis, Anthony Volpe. Like, are we really worried about those bats?
No.
Ben Rice.
And that's why I'm just staying off this game. I just think it's a really bad spot, good spot for the Yankees. So I want to. It's a good spot and a bad spot for the Yankees. So I'm staying away. Baltimore revenge. I like it. Yankees didn't use any bullpen last couple of nights as the games were already over by the 5th inning. Correct.
Yeah, they let some players out to dry there. Yeah. Yankees
will use the Jays as their punching bags tonight. Okay, This game's going to finish one of two ways. The Jays are going to win by a run, or the Yankees are going to absolutely blow them to smithereens. And I'm not trying to guess which one's which. Jays first 5. I'm not going to talk you off of that one either. Jays and the Cubs are basically the same team. If the Jays win tonight, the Yankees will be in the conversation of a dumpster fire. The Yankees will not be in a conversation of a dumpster fire. They're one of the best teams in baseball. So far on Judge over bases, I can see that. He-Rakes versus Barrios.
Love it.
Judge hit his 60th home run in Toronto. Judge owns Toronto. The Yankees in general
owns everybody.
Yeah, Judge owns a lot of everybody. Let's go to this game, which I'm going to actually probably attack this one, Nick.
Let's get into this one here. The Cincinnati Reds and the St. Louis Cardinals. We have the Cardinals opening up as 135 favorites. It's down to a 127. So we do have a move towards the Cincinnati Reds. Line opened up at an 8.5 at -115. It's down to an 8 at -115. So we have a move towards the Cardinals, or a move towards the Reds and a move towards the under in this game here. 96% of the tickets, 96% of the cash is on the over, with the line moving towards the under. Does pique my interest a little bit at an under here. I've been slowing down on the unders. I've been picking and choosing my unders instead of in the beginning of the season just spamming away at them, which the unders in the beginning of the season were awesome. April, May unders, beautiful. Once the weather gets hot, you slow down on them because the humidity goes up.
And then get back to them in September and October.
Exactly. So, yeah, during the dog days of summer, it's probably more overs than unders. That's just the way it goes. And then we have 86% of the tickets, 84% of the cash on the Cardinals, and the line moving towards the Reds, which piques my interest in Cincinnati here. It tells me Andrew Abbott has a decent start. Now, has he been great lately? No. 4.88 ERA, a 1.37 whip, 8.78 strikeouts per nine, which is 22%, 3.58 walks per nine, 273 BABIP, a 5.22 FIP, and a 4.49 SIERA. Meanwhile, Michaelis has actually been pretty good. With a 2.87 ERA, 0.8 whip the last 30 days, 6.32 strikeouts per nine, which is 19%, 1.15 walks per nine, a 209 BABIP, a 3.47 FIP, and a 3.99 SIERA. Bullpen edge goes towards the Reds as well as the hitting edge, 95 WRC plus, which is 19th, compared to 77, which is 26. I feel like if I back the Reds, it's full game because I would like to take advantage of the Cardinals bullpen. That's the way I would like to approach this game if I bet the Reds, I'm sacrificing the starting pitching advantage because Michaelis has been the better pitcher than Abbott. But the Cardinals do not hit lefties. They hit righties really well. The Cardinals do not hit lefties. And I trust this Reds bullpen significantly more than the Cardinals bullpen. And I think I move on the Reds here because the market's moving towards them here as well. And feels like everything correlates for the Reds other than the starting pitching advantage. It's the only thing that goes against the Reds in this spot. And if that's the only thing, I'm willing to sacrifice that for a bullpen edge a little bit, especially when I don't think the starting pitching edge is overly significant because of the way that the Cardinals hit lefties. So I'm seeing plus 120 over on Fanatics. I'm going to take the Cincinnati Reds here.
Yeah, I'm going to as well, and they're going to be at least the number 3 play on the site. Plus, Nick, you forgot to mention one of the big factors because you mentioned it with the White Sox.
The Cardinals played a doubleheader yesterday.
Cardinals are coming off a doubleheader. Now, this is a spot I'll actually go after. I'm going to be on the Reds. Although the Cardinals did not have to travel, so we'll at least give them that. Right? They were home against Atlanta. I like the spot here for the Reds, and overall, I just think I'm just going to go after it this way. So yes, Reds get my money here today. In a bad spot for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Agreed. And I'm more of a Cardinals supporter than I am a fader for them. So
yeah. He hit his 60th in Texas, not Toronto. Oh yeah, you're right. He was supposed to hit in Toronto, but the Jays kept walking him. That's
That's
right.
why they kept.
That was hilarious. You guys take the over in the Cubs game today. First 5 over cashed yesterday, but got hooked full game for a wash.
I have not bet that game yet. Which yesterday that was a tricky game. And Tim, I was reading into it a little bit. You know why Hayden Birdsong started for the Giants yesterday?
No.
Because they were anticipating calling up somebody else, but I think it was, I don't know if it was an injury or something along those lines. They were anticipating having Carson Whisenhunt start yesterday.
Oh.
And I don't know what happened, but they didn't call him up. So that's why Hayden Birdsong started for the Giants yesterday.
Interesting. Reds Cardinals over. I could see that. Cardinals bullpen taxed. Yep. I can't get the image of my head of the Cubs Mets game. Where Magan got roasted. That's also a very hot Mets team. So, yeah. This is an interesting matchup.
Yeah. We have one team that's been an absolute cash cow this year. I mean, both these have. I've been a big Guardians backer as of late, and the markets are showing some respect for them now. And let's get into this one, though. This line opened up at a minus 110 for the Guardians. It's still a minus 110. Line opened up at a 9 at plus 105. Got down to an 8.5, but it's back up to a 9 now at minus 105. So it'll move towards the over. And no move on the side. 63% of the tickets, 68% of the cash is on the Guardians, with no move on the total or on the side. 97% of the tickets, 98% of the cash is on the over. The line moving towards the over in this game. Taking a look at the pitching matchup here, we have Michael Waka taking on Ben Lively. Ben Lively, 3.54 ERA, 1.13 whip, 5.75 strikeouts per nine, which is 16%, 2.66 walks per nine, and 241 BABIP, a 4.83 FIP, and a 4.58 SIERA. On the flip side, we have Michael Waka, 2.67 ERA, a 0.97 whip, 6.1 strikeouts per nine, which is 18%, 1.74 walks per nine, and 233 BABIP, a 3.64 FIP, and a 4.35 SIERA. The bullpen edge and the hitting edge goes towards the Cleveland Guardians, 131 WRC plus, which is third against righties, compared to 87, which is 20th. The Royals' bats have really slowed down as of late. And that's something to keep an eye on for. This team is regressing. As much as we've loved the Kansas City Royals this year, this game is Guardians are nothing for me personally, but not a game I'm going to get involved with. And I lean over, but once again, a little too public for me. I don't like being on the side of 97% of the tickets. So that's going to keep me off of this game as well. So no play here for me. That's a lean towards Cleveland if I had to bet anything.
Yeah, I as much as I do love this Kansas City team, I can't touch them today. So that's totally okay. I'm just not going to go and I'm not betting the White Sox. Sorry, the Guardians. I just saw the C and I said I don't know. I'm not betting the Guardians here either because they did have their 7-game winning streak snapped. Normally, when a team loses a winning streak, normally it extends a little bit. We tend to notice. They don't just go right back to another winning streak. Most teams don't. I could definitely see this one being a spot where the Royals can build off a little bit of their momentum after taking a series against Miami. I know it's Miami, but they can build up a little bit of momentum off of that. Am I betting this game? No. For me, it's Royals or nothing, but it's going to be nothing for me.
Fair.
Kansas City having the coldest bats in the MLB, guards up. And by the way, this little stretch by Kansas City is kind of putting Gunnar Henderson solidly in as the starting shortstop for the All-Star game.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I was going to give MVP to anybody in the American League for the first half, it is Gunnar Henderson.
I have somebody else that I would
I
give
know
the
Judge is
MVP.
probably in there
Judge.
too, or
Judge.
Jose Ramirez, because without him, the Guardians are not where they are. But
I'd give it. I would still give it to Judge personally.
I'm a bit confused with this price. It's because it's in Kansas City. Kansas City first 5, huge bullpen advantage for Cleveland. Cleveland's got the bullpen advantage against everybody. Under in Kansas City, I could see that. Yo, what's up, Markel? Think I asked you guys before, and I'm sorry for repeating, but betting size Q strategy. Do y'all size your units on player props the same as bets on side or totals? No.
I don't bet player props very often.
If we were to bet player props, it's a lot less than betting a side or a total. And it's more of a I want to have fun and type of deal. Or, hey, I see this player's hot. Let me take them this game. But we don't bet player props in extents. So maybe Alec Burleson today again. But I don't bet player props like crazy. Are you on the Sun under in the WNBA? I'm on the over in the Fever game. That is it. How about one more MLB game, Nick?
This one's a tricky one here. The LA Angels are taking on the Detroit Tigers, and there's another pitcher, Tim, that I'm going to need a little bit more information on. Davis Daniel, who is going to be the starting pitcher for the Angels.
Here, I'll give you this. He is a long reliever. He's pitched 3 times this year. He's 3 times last year. He pitched 3 innings, 4 innings, and 5 innings last year.
Okay.
Out of the bullpen.
So it's a bullpen game for the LA Angels here.
It is. Correct.
Okay. We have this line opened up at a 158 for Detroit. It's up to a 162 now. So we've had a couple cent line movement towards the Tigers here. And the spot line opened up at an 8 minus 117. It's now an 8 at minus 115. So we've moved towards the under here as well. We have 96% of the tickets, 96% of the cash on the over, the line moving towards the under in this game. We have 75% of the tickets are on the Tigers, but 59% of the cash is on the Angels in this spot. And when we look at this matchup, you said this is Davis Daniels. Is this his debut?
First time this year. Last time he pitched was September of last year.
Season debut for him. So that's kind of interesting there. And then on the flip side, we get arguably the hottest pitcher in baseball, Jack Flaherty.
Yeah.
Which is coming in off of he's absolutely shoved as of late. His last 4 starts, 1 earned run, 0.4 ERA, 0.67 WHIP, 10.88 strikeouts per 9, which is 33%, 1.61 walks per 9, a 2.04 BABIP, 1.86 FIP, and a 2.55 SIERA. The bullpen edge does go towards the Angels here as well as the hitting edge. Now, they are not hitting very well. 83 WRC plus, which is 23rd, compared to the Tigers, 79, which is 26th. I get it. Jack Flaherty's the pitching advantage here by a long shot. However, the bullpen edge does go towards the Angels in this spot. And do the Tigers hit enough in order to cover this number? Because I don't trust the Tigers offense as minus 160 road chalk. This game is Angels or nothing for me. And one thing we've really noticed with this Angels team is they've been playing much better as of late. They've been winning closer games.
They just played Oakland. Can we just point that they just played Oakland? So let's not jump to conclusions.
They've won. Yep, they've won 4 of their last 5 games. They split the series against the Dodgers. And previous to that, they lost 2 out of 3 against the Brewers, but they won 2 out of 3 against the Giants. I know this is an Angels team that is still tough to trust, but they've been playing better baseball as of late. And this is an Angels team that I would like to back in this spot. And the Angels look like one of the sharpest plays on the board today. And I am going to bet them. I'm getting plus 140 over on Fanatics. I'm going to bet the LA Angels on the money line here.
I was looking at this game, and I know, and I just put the Angels up at plus 149. And I know somebody, I'm going to look up the chat, because somebody mentioned all these favorites. What could possibly go wrong with people's parlays today? Ready to see the team that's going to snap all the parlays? The Tigers are going to snap all the parlays because the Angels are winning tonight. Sign me up with the Angels. It feels like everybody's on them, and that's the one thing I look at. It's just an overwhelming amount of people are on the Tigers, and I think this is just a fade the public kind of spot. So I'm on the Angels here. This is probably, as I was looking through the card, one of my favorite plays of the day. And I'm going the Angels plus 149. Let's run it.
Love it. I really like this play. Oh, and for people out, actually they're a home team. But I was going to say maybe this is your up 2 promo team, which I saw somebody said that they brought back the up 2 promo, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'll put a couple bucks into DraftKings and I'll play it. $10 max bet for me. They limited me to $10 on that. Like, you can shove it up your ass.
That's rough.
But yeah, ending my card with the Angels.
Nick, are you doing fading all the minus 300s? Yes, Nick's on the Marlins and White Sox today. Jack Flaherty over 4.5 strikeouts. Angels strike out a ton versus right-handed pitching. Tiger spot? No. I don't like the Tigers, but very often. But how can you not? I mean, like the under more though. I could see the under in this game. I can. I just like the Angels in the spot. I asked that question because there's days where I feel dumb and I smash my props and they're similar sizes and don't end up making as much headway as I should have on the day. For some people, it's all a matter of how confident are you in that play. And for me, I'm going to be 100% more confident in a side or a total than a player prop. So whenever I bet player props, they are a quarter unit, maybe a half if I really, really like it. But most of the time, they're a quarter unit or less. So, especially home run prop. Home runs are like a tenth of a unit. But that is all the games for today, Nick. Short card, or obviously it's a Thursday, so we're going to have a little bit of a shorter card. It was 9 games. But that is all the games for today. Before we head on out, we'll go ahead and pay some bills and recap and all that good stuff. And I think, Nick, you need to mention one thing before we head on out.
Yep, I will mention that one after the recap.
Yep, I figured I'd remind you of that one. But if you guys are new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Check out all the links in the description below. The logos for those are above Nick's head: YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. We are posting on all of those every single day. If you guys are interested in becoming a member of the YouTube channel, $5.99 a month, 16 cents a day. It's where you get all the plays that we put up on the picksandparlays.net website. It does help out for when people are not near the not on the stream. So if you guys miss it, those will always be posted. Those will be posted in about 4 minutes. Pretty much right after I get off the stream, it'll be uploaded. So there you go. And then recap. Oh, sorry. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel. We're like 36, 37 subscribers away from 4,000. Let's try to hit that. Let's do it. Recap, and then I'll let Nick recap, and then Nick give out his news. For me, Phillies run line, or minus 2.5. Orioles run line, and the Reds and the Angels today. Nick, go ahead.
Yeah. There we go. MLB, Minnesota Twins, minus 104. There we go. Chicago White Sox, first 5, plus 235 on FanDuel. Minnesota Twins on FanDuel as well. Chicago White Sox, plus 280 on Fanatics. Miami Marlins, plus 240, first 5. Bet365, plus 260 full game, ESPN Bet. New York Yankees, minus 135, BetMGM. Cincinnati Reds, plus 120, Fanatics. LA Angels, plus 140, Fanatics as well. As actually, I think they posted it. I think they've posted it here. Yeah, they have posted it. So I can put in the link for it. Cool.
All right, nice.
Yeah. A little bit of news. And I'm gonna be posting the link in the chat.
Yeah, they posted it 3 hours ago.
Yeah, they posted it 3 hours ago. I am now the producer for the Holt and Earle show on Pirate Radio TV, East Carolina Pirate Radio. And I will be on that show every week now. And it's an exciting opportunity. I get to work with former East Carolina Pirate quarterback and former Seattle Seahawk quarterback as well, Holt and Earle's. And this week was my first week with them. A lot of fun. It's going to be, I'm really looking forward to continuing there with them. We interviewed Mike Houston and asked a lot of questions about what to expect from this upcoming season of East Carolina football and things along those lines. And then later in the show, they introduced me in and we talked what we got off of that and stuff like that. So if you guys want a little bit of an insight as well, I got a little bit of betting insight for what to expect from East Carolina football this year, what to be different, what will be different with them. So if you guys want to listen to that, watch that. The link is in the description. The link is in the chat now for the episode of the Holt and Earle show with Mike Houston, the one that I debuted with the Holt and Earle show as well. So be sure to give Pirate Radio TV some love as well. We will continue to promote them each and every week when they post the podcast. So be sure to give Holt and Earle's and Pirate Radio TV some love. Subscribe to them. The link is in the chat there. So Holt and Earle show with Mike Houston. There you go.
Yeah. Fiesta overruns. I want to see what he does first, so we'll see. Thanks, guys. Of course, Bailey. That is everything for today. We will see you guys tomorrow for another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. See you guys then.